It is a growing trend across the country, and it's showing in our area as well. Women in law enforcement. Good evening, and thanks for choosing ABC6. I'm James Wilcox.
And I'm Betsy Singer. Law enforcement is a field long dominated by men, but within the last 10 years, the number of female officers has risen in departments all across the state.
ABC6 News anchor Laura Lee takes a closer look in part one of our Women in Law Enforcement series.
From patrolling our streets to eliminating drugs and prostitution in our communities to keeping the bad guys locked up, I go inside each of our local departments and share the perspectives of our women in law enforcement. On the corner of 4th and Civic Center in Rochester, behind these walls,
Radio check, cell 24.
is this badge.
I wouldn't have guessed that this is where I'd be sitting 18 years ago.
That badge belongs to Captain Macey Tesmer, an 18-year veteran of the Olmsted County Sheriff's Office. Tesmer is one of 2 female officers in a high-ranking role.
How does that feel to know you're in that position as a female?
Many times I don't even think about the fact that I'm a woman, and I don't know that my staff do either.
Hi, Captain.
Hi, how's it going today?
According to Olmsted County Sheriff Kevin Torgerson, there are only 6 female deputies out of a total of 68 patrolling the streets. At the Adult Detention Center, where Tesmer supervises, there are 27 female deputies.
Half of our lateral assignments have a female and a male counterpart working together.
And as a woman, you're patting these guys down as well?
Yes, our female staff pat down male detainees.
As captain at the Adult Detention Center, every person who is booked into the Olmsted County Jail goes through her office.
I think people don't want to think about us or the people that are in this building.
The detention center houses anywhere from 140 to 200 detainees in custody at a time. Not an easy task, managing behavior and safety.
People really don't understand the hard work that the folks that work in a detention center do and the dangers that they face.
ABC6 was allowed access into the jail. And using a GoPro camera, we got an inside look at how officers conduct searches.
To make sure there's nothing there. We're going to check both the top and the bottom to make sure that somebody didn't hide something up here.
Not leaving an inch of the cell untouched.
We're going to do the same with this one.
I think law enforcement officers are necessary and people want them on a day when they need help. But when they have to make the tough decisions and it's not what people think is the right thing, then all of a sudden they're not that popular anymore.
And Captain Tesmer knows she's not always popular.
You don't know me. A lot of these ladies don't know me. No, they just know that I got a white shirt on.
A shirt she has earned.
We were talking about the 2004 incident.
Recalling an incident in 2004 after her promotion that she'll never forget.
Where we had a significant disturbance in our facility and the detainees actually took over the housing unit.
Tesmer was off to attend a funeral when the detainees gained control of the unit and were unsupervised for several hours.
I can still tell you when I watch the video of my staff having to try and get their way out of the housing unit, I was sick to my stomach. In that particular situation, I had to deal with a lot of guilt because I wasn't here and it was my platoon. Recognizing that, you know, I'm entitled to take a day off and that it's not my fault and sometimes those things just happen. But as a supervisor, I think that is where it's the hardest.
Dismissing the dangers of the job for her commitment to her team and her community.
So I wouldn't be here if I didn't like what I do. It's a great job and we have a great family that works here and wouldn't trade it.
Coming up next Monday, I'll take you inside the Austin Police Department where they have their first female sergeant. For the full list of all the women featured in this series, head to our website at KAALTV.com. In studio, Laura Lee, ABC6 News.